What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I am Craig, and have we got a lot to talk about? Have all markets topped? Is that it? Do we continue down from here? Or will they somehow manage to pull one more trick out the hat and get it one more new all-time high before the collapse? I'm in the camp that it's pretty likely that everything's topped. As you guys know, I've been talking about this for a long time. It took a little bit longer than expected, but nevertheless, the macro charts still seem to be playing out. We're going to talk about a lot here. Make sure you guys smash those likes. Leave your comments below after you watch or as you watch. Let me know what you think. And let's also take a look at XRP, Litecoin, Ethereum, BNB, and Tesla. You guys know my Tesla chart targets. If you've been watching, I'll show you that at the end. I still think it's coming into fruition, and I think we are about to see, if not already seeing, the biggest money grab in history, and I'll show you why in the charts. Let's get into it. So taking a look at, if you look here on the left of the screen, you'll see where we're at now. I've been talking about this chart for a long time, right? I thought maybe down here around 40 was the top, but if you look, this is a 100-year cycle, and what happens in a 100-year cycle? The markets crash. When things are out of whack like they are now, if they crash everything, people are going to lose jobs. Companies are going to shut down. A lot of over-leveraged banks are going to be hurting. A lot of bad things can happen. Is that doom and gloom? Absolutely not. I think it's the biggest opportunity of our lifetime. So when markets rise like this, let's say people bought down here, they think they're indestructible, they're going to continue making money. That's only on paper. When this happens, that takes all the money. Who does that? The big boys. Well, if this does happen, we could see 2-3 years of downside before the true bottom, and that is the opportunity of a lifetime if that's what happens. We're going to take a look at all these charts, but I've talked about this one quite a bit. If you times everything by 100, it's almost identical, although we got more exuberant here, went a little bit higher than we did back here, but nevertheless the ending result is always the same. Let's take a look at the dollar real quick. Well, first, let's go back to Dow Jones. So if we look here, we had this drop and then a pop up. The 2008 around April was, it topped before that, but we had a rally up. And that was around April in 08. Let's take a look at what the DXY did. So it was down here, right? And then it just continued up from there. And I've been talking about this for a long time, that I think the DXY, it could bottom here. Obviously, if it drops down, we could obviously go lower, but we'll see what happens. This is the point to keep an eye on the DXY. As you guys know, everybody's talking about the dollar dead. I don't think it's going to die. I think it's going to be a very impressive rally for the DXY, right? My thoughts don't have to be yours. None of this is financial advice, but I've been talking about this for a very long time, and I have not changed my view on the markets at all. Like I said, markets, can be very hard to read on a timeline, but in the macro, it's pretty much easy to play out, right? Timing the exact tops and bottoms can be harsh. Now, this is the distribution schematic. We were looking at 1 and 2. We dropped below that SAO. Now, the only way this thing can continue up is if we make this the sign of weakness, and then we have that one more rally up. If somehow they're able to pump the stock markets one more rally, either way, I believe the downside is going to be enormous. Now, those of you that watch my videos, we've talked about this for a long time. This short zone here between 69 and 72, basically, I told you guys back in May that this was the area to short. You could have made a lot of money if you done this. If you did, kudos. But everybody was calling for $100,000 Bitcoin. They will continue to call for $100,000 Bitcoin. I don't think, in my opinion, we're going to see any $100 Bitcoin for a very, very, very long time. Do I think Bitcoin's going to go away and be banished and no more? No, I don't. But I do think there's going to be a huge crypto washout. Get rid of all the scam, useless crap out there. But anyway, we had this count in, right, as a possibility. This being 1, 2, a huge 1, 2 in the white, 3, 4, 5, right? But we are in a smaller waves within that. We've been talking about this. 1, 2, 3 would get us down to either 42. Let me put a tag on there. Where we at? All right. Put a price label here too, right at that high volume node, right? Around 43,000. And then we have another area to look at, the 1.618 at about 40,300 before a rally, right? And then maybe rally back up to that 51,000 and then continue down to our wave 3 somewhere around 27, 28. Get another rally maybe up to the 43 and then back down, right? I'll show you the macro, which is mind-blowing here in a few, but this is what I'm looking at, guys. I do think we'll probably get a bounce somewhere in here, I'm sure. Let's see what the markets are looking horrible, guys, and everybody's been promising these new all-time highs and new markets never going to stop going up. So if we've bottomed here, right, our RSI is pretty low. These are the areas you look for a reversal. Obviously, we could go lower, but as of right now, I'm going to put these on there, 0.618. Highest I see it bouncing back up to, if we get a big rally, is around 65.7, which is a 0.786. But this could just continue getting more and more ugly, guys. So be careful here. If you guys are interested in trading, I have a link down below. Check out Prime XBT, by far my favorite exchange. They don't trade against you like the scam exchanges. You can trade crypto, Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, everything, all from one exchange, right? So check them out. I'll leave a video, a tutorial up top on how to place trades on there. Now let's take a look at the Amazon bubble on the left, the Bitcoin bubble on the right, right? I do think this is a bubble. I drew this out a long time ago. There was a time I thought this was the high, right? We did have, if you caught that short, you did extremely well. But I do think this is a market structure, right? You got high, higher high, higher high, high, higher high, higher high. Huge 95% retracement, a reset. Did Amazon go away forever? No. It moved on to go to new all-time highs, but it took many, many years, decades. So just be cautious, but just know if it does get down to these levels, will be a great place to get in very cheap, while these people that are bought up here are just losing money this whole time. If this is, remember, patience is the key in markets. If you have patience to wait for this, if it does happen, obviously it doesn't have to happen, but if it does happen, the opportunities here are way bigger than any we've had in our lifetime. So let's take a look at another macro. This is a 4-day chart, and I show you on my indicator down below every time this signaled a massive top, right? We have a long ways to go, in my opinion, right? A long ways to go before hitting our bottom here. So be careful, guys. This is another thing I just wanted to show real quick. So if we look at the distribution, let me pull that back up. This is a weekly chart, obviously, in a log chart, but we could have just seen this top right here, right there, and continuation to the downside for years. Ethereum. So Ethereum, my next target for a decent bounce is somewhere right here around this 1900, if we haven't bounced here already. But our resistance level to look for on Ethereum is going to be right here, somewhere in this area around 2800. If it does get a rally back up, hit this trend line, come back down, and then we'd be looking for that 2000 area if that breaks. You guys know I have not changed these targets for years. 1162, 690, 253 for Ethereum. If we get down to these levels, this is where I'd be looking for a big bounce. Of course, like I said, RSI is oversold, so we're going to get some bounces or some sideways action to reset this RSI in everything, right? So if we go sideways, the RSI goes up, right? And then we look for bearish or hidden bearish divergence. Litecoin, same targets, around 1570 to 23. Definitely looks like we could be heading there. So right now, if we look at this, let's move this trend line down a bit. Our resistance level for Litecoin is about 57.58, and then we have a high volume node at where is that at? Right there, 70. So that's where I'd be looking for if we get rallies up to these points for more shorts. XRP, you guys know my thoughts on XRP. I have anywhere, I don't know why this is, let me go into the daily, see if my, yeah, here's my targets. 27 cents, first area to look for it to hold before bouncing. Could go all the way down to, who knows, it could go down to a penny. But nevertheless, XRP has been fading away since 2018, right? Let me put it on the weekly, see if that shows better. There we go. There's my targets. 27 cents to 4 cents as extreme low, right? But this is what I'd be watching for bounce area. Tesla, as you guys know, my targets have been and remain between 40 and 50 bucks for a true bottom for Tesla. I still think that's a great possibility. Could go lower. Could get, these are our bounce areas we've been watching, 151 and 106. We got our bounce at 106 right here at 22, but once that breaks, our next support's around the $40 to $50 range. BNB, talked about this for a long time too. Still waiting for this 360 for a decent bounce. But I do see it going much, much lower. I have targets down at 202, 153, and 69. Be careful out there, guys. Don't over leverage. If you are trading, make sure you use risk management. Don't risk more than you're willing to lose. Have an awesome day. I'll leave that video up here again. Tutorials on how to place trades. Have an awesome day. Be careful out there, guys. I'll see you in the next one.